All right, good morning, everyone. I got the recording set up, so we're good to start now. But before we start, a couple of things you might want today. You might want a mat. We'll be spending some time doing work on the ground. And then you'll also want some water. So if you need a second to go and get those things, go ahead and just take the next minute or so, 30 seconds. And for those of us just waiting, we can go ahead and get started with our warm-up. So we're gonna start with a walk in place or around the room. So while everyone else is gathering what they might want for today, we can get moving a little bit here. And feel free to walk around. Maybe you don't have the space, but maybe you do. Looks like we have a couple more people joining us. So again, we're just walking in place. We're walking around the room just to get warmed up. All right, we're gonna go ahead and move into some stretching now that we've got some blood flowing. So we're gonna start with the legs, and we'll start with a calf stretch. So if you put your heel on the ground out in front of you, point your toes towards the sky, and then bend down and try to touch your toes. If you can't all the way, that's fine. But you should feel a stretch in the back of that leg that's out in front. And go ahead and switch legs. Again, heel out in front, toes towards the sky, reaching for the toes. And we can switch back to the first leg. And then go ahead and switch one more time. Again, you should feel the stretch along the back of your calf. All right. So now we're gonna go into more of a lunge stretch. So step one, foot forward, keep your back leg straight, and just lean forward with your knee. This isn't a lunge, you're stretching the back leg that's straight. Try and keep your chest up for this one. Try not to get hunched over since we're not touching our toes. And go ahead and switch legs. So again, back leg straight, front leg bending until you feel a stretch in the other leg. Good, and we'll switch back to the first foot. And switch one last time. Great. All right, we're gonna move into a quad stretch. So hold your foot in your hand. If you need to use something to balance, feel free to grab hold of a table or sofa. The other thing you can do that helps is if you look at something that's not moving, sometimes having just something to focus on is enough to kind of reduce the sway. And you should feel this stretch along the front of your leg or your quad. All right, go ahead and switch. All right, nice job. Let's do some arm circles. Just nice, big, slow circles. Loosen up the shoulders. We'll start backwards, I guess. And go ahead and switch directions. Very nice. Let's bring our arm across our body. So now you should feel the stretch along the back of your arm and in your shoulder. And switch arms. All right, so we're done with our stretching. Go ahead and shake it out. We're gonna get moving into our first set, but if you need to grab a sip of water, now's a good time. We don't need our mats just yet, but we'll use them for both of the later sets. So don't lay them out yet. But when you're ready, we're gonna start with a jog. So go ahead and pick up the pace a little bit. You can jog in place or you can jog around the room. All right, nice job, everyone. We have about 30 seconds left. All right, nice job. Now we're gonna move into some skater jumps. So those are like kind of like lunges to the side. So you're gonna pretend like we're skating, and we're gonna hop back and forth. Try and balance when you get there. If you can't quite add the jump, that's okay. You can step into it more like a side lunge. And using your arms does help yourself balance. So as you land, try not to let your knee go over your toe or too far to either side. You're trying to stack your body over that foot. Nice job. We'll do one more on each side. All right, and now we're gonna move into some squats. So at your own pace, we're gonna go ahead and just start squatting. Again, don't let your knees go over your toes. You can go as deep as is comfortable. Try and keep your weight even between both of your feet. And try for one more. All right, now we're gonna move into some pulse squats. So instead of standing all the way up, we're gonna stay partially squatted down and just pulse up and down. If you need to stand all the way up to take a break, feel free. Again, try not to let your knees go over your toes. All right, and we're gonna do 2 more pulse squats and then we're gonna hold it. Ready? 1, 2, and hold down at the bottom. Five more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right, that's it for that set. So go ahead, shake your legs out, grab a sip of water if you want some. And then go ahead and we're gonna go back into our jog. Again, you can jog around if you like. Try and get some airflow in your house. Right? All right, great job. We have 20 seconds left of jogging. All right, 3, 2, 1. And we're gonna move into our skater jumps. So again, try and focus on that balance as you land. Again, try not to let your knee go over your toe or get too far off to the side. The other thing to watch as we do these is your hips. So your hips should stay as even as possible. We aren't dropping to the back. All right, let's do one more on each side. And we're back to our squats. So these are just our normal squats. However deep you like. If you can only get a quarter of the way down, that's great. If you can get halfway down, that's great. And if you can go all the way, that's also great. Whatever is comfortable for you. Again, don't let those knees go over the toes. All right, and in 2 more, we're gonna start our pulse squats. So ready, 1, 2, and down. And now we're just pulsing. We aren't going all the way back up unless we need a break. Great job, everyone. All right, 2 more and we're gonna hold. Ready, 1, 2, and hold. Don't forget to breathe while we're here. If you need to use your hands to hang onto your legs, that's okay if that helps you. Otherwise, try not to if you want an added challenge. And we're done in 3, 2, and 1. Back up. All right, great job. Go ahead and grab a sip of water if you like. We'll go through that one more time. And then we'll move on to some more strengthening things. So once you're ready though, go ahead and get back into your jog. Again, don't feel like you have to jog in one place. I think it's a little more comfortable to at least jog back and forth. All right, less than 30 seconds in our last jogging rep. All right, so making your way back to your home. All right, great job with the jog, everyone. We're gonna move into our skater jumps. Again, there's a lot of things to think about when you're doing these. We want our knee not past our toe. We want our knee stacked over our foot, so not out either way. And then we want to try and control our hips, keep them as stable as possible. So if you need to put your hands on your hips just to like feel what they're doing, feel free. All right, and we'll do one more to each side. All right, go ahead and get in your position and start your squats, just normal squats. So down and all the way back up for these. We're doing great. We have our final set of pulses and hold coming up. So let's do 2 more full squats together. And we'll move into our pulses. Ready? 1 and 2. And move into just pulses. So now we're not standing all the way back up. You can pulse at whatever speed you like. You can go faster or slower. Play around with it. See what's the appropriate challenge for you. All right, and in 2 more, we're gonna hold. Ready? 1, 2, hold. Good job again. If you need your hands to help you, they can go on your knees. If not, though, it's a better challenge to try and hold them up and just try and hold that squat. We're gonna go for 5 more seconds this time than we did last. So ready? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Great job. Go ahead and shake it out. We'll take a longer break this time so that everyone can lay out their mat if they brought it. My floor is carpet, so I'm not too worried, but not everybody has that. The other perk of the mat is they're less slippery. So as we're trying to do these exercises, you get much better traction than I will. Make sure you adjust your computer so you'll be able to see from your new spot on the ground as well. I will adjust mine slightly too. And we'll be starting with some exercises on our back side. So you can go ahead and work yourself down into your sitting position on the floor. So instead of doing legs and arms and core separately today, we're going to break it up by how we're seated. So our first set will be all of the exercises on our back, and then we'll flip over and we'll do all of the exercises on our stomach side. Just to make things a little easier for everyone today. Mixes it up a little bit too. All right, it looks like all of the people I can see at least are ready. So our first thing we're gonna start with is the Russian twist. So you guys, I think we've done this before, but for those of you that are new to it, you're gonna take your hands and you're gonna twist them from side to side, either with your feet down on the floor, which would be the easier position, or you can hold them up while you twist, like so. All right, let's go ahead and get started with those. So we're twisting our upper body, trying to tap the floor. Five more seconds here. 3, 2, and 1. Great job. Now we're gonna move into a bridge, but we're gonna do it single leg. So the bridge we do from laying all the way on our back, arms down at our side, and a normal bridge is two-legged. You lift your pelvis towards the sky, but today we're gonna do single-legged. So hold one of your legs up and lift with one leg. When you're ready, go ahead and join me. As you do these, do like 5 with one leg, and then switch and do 5 with the other leg. And we'll go through that twice. So you're trying for 10 for each leg. All right, once you've got those done, we'll give everyone a second just to finish up. We're gonna do some bicycles next. So for this one, you can put your hands at your side or under your butt if you need a little more support. And bicycles are really just like air cycling. So when you're ready, go ahead and join me. Once you're done with your bridges. And we'll do 5 more seconds of bicycles. 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right, for our next exercise, we're going to do some tricep dips. So for those, we're going to use our arms. So we're going to start up in this kind of like a bridge position, but not all the way upside down. And then the tricep dip is just going to be a bending of the elbows and back up. So try not to let your butt touch the floor. If it does, just slightly try not to sit down. And we're going to aim for 10 of these. So count on your own. However many you can do is great. All right, great job with those. Once we're done there, we're gonna go back into our Russian twist. And we're only gonna go through each of these twice today. All right, looks like everyone's done with their tricep dips, at least that I can see. So go ahead and get in your position for Russian twist, and we will begin. All right, we'll go ahead and move on to our single leg bridge again. So go ahead and lay back. Again, we're doing 5 on one leg and then 5 on the other leg, just at our own pace. So whichever leg you choose first. And if you can't get all 5, that's okay too. If you want to do extra, you're also welcome to do that. All right, I'm done one line. We'll give everyone a couple more seconds to get finished up. But after this, we have our bicycles, just as a preview, so we don't actually need to change position too much. If you'd like, you can tuck your hands under your butt for added support. We're trying to keep our back flat against the ground through these. Don't let it arch. All right, ready? In 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and start your bicycle. Don't forget to breathe through these. Again, we're not arching our back, raising our abs. And 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and back down. All right, our last back exercise is our tricep dips. So we're going back up a little bit, and we're trying for 10 of them. So at your own pace, as you're ready, go ahead and start working through your tricep dips. If you do 8, that's perfectly okay. If you do 12, that's also okay. All right. Once we're done with those, we're going to grab a sip of water if you need it, and we're going to rotate on over to our stomach side. So on this side, we're going to start with some shoulder taps. So for that, you're in kind of like a hand plank position. So you can be on your knees or your feet, whichever is more comfortable for you. Sometimes if you're slipping, I feel like knees slip a little less, even if it's not for the sake of difficulty. And for shoulder taps, you're just going to take one hand and bring it to your opposing shoulder. So your right hand goes to your left shoulder, Your left hand goes to your right shoulder. Now it's really easy to start to sway back and forth, but the challenge with these is to try and keep your upper body as quiet as possible. So we're trying to stay just in one place and switch which hand is our supporting hand. So go ahead and join me. We'll try and do 10 to each side, just at your own pace.
Actually got my reading summary out of the way, like before it was due at 2 o'clock, and then like forgetting, and then like having to scramble and like read the article.
Right. All right, we'll give everyone a couple more seconds to finish those up. And after that, we're gonna move into some mountain climbers. So for that, we're gonna be in a very similar position on our hands. This time, we have to be on our feet, but we're bringing a knee towards our chest. All right, we'll try and do 10 on each side for these as well. So at your own pace, go ahead and get started. All right, great job, everyone. The last thing we're gonna do on this side is some push-ups. So if you want to add a challenge, you can do it from your feet, or you can also do them from your knees if feet is too much. And we're gonna try for 10 push-ups as well. So we're doing things in 10s right now. So at your own pace, keep your back straight. And go ahead. Again, if you only do 8, that's also okay. And if you want a little bit of an extra push, you can go through and do 12. Once you're done with your 10, feel free to take a second, grab a sip of water, and we'll move into our last set through. So we just have 3 things for this set, but we'll give everyone 10, 15 more seconds to wrap up. Grab some water. Again, we're starting this one with shoulder taps. So once you're ready, go ahead and get into your position, and 10 to each side. So you can count to 10 for one hand, or I find it easier to just count to 20.
There's an article in NBS.
All right, great job. Give everyone a couple more seconds to wrap up, and then we'll move into our mountain climbers. If you're already wrapped up, feel free to get started. Again, we're doing 10 on each side or 20 total. we get wrapped up with those, and then we have one thing left, which is our push-ups. So if you're already done with your mountain climbers, you can go ahead and get started with those. Again, we're trying for 10, 8, somewhere between 8 and 12 is also totally okay. Whatever is comfortable and challenging for you. All right, once we're done with those, we're done on the floor. So you can slowly work your way back up to standing. And we're gonna start our cool down by just walking around a little bit, getting moving again, since we just spent a good 20 minutes working on stuff on the floor. But as you walk around, give your arms a shake. You can shake out your legs. All right, as we continue to walk around, we'll start our arm stretches. So bring your arm across your torso, holding it with your other arm. And we can keep the legs moving. And switch arms. All right, great job, everyone. Let's come back to the center. This time for our legs, we'll go a little more than shoulder width apart and fold at the waist. Reaching for the ground. If you can't touch the ground, that's okay. If you can touch the ground and you're not feeling enough of a stretch, go ahead and walk your hands back behind your heels. You should feel that nice stretch in the back of your legs. From here, we'll walk our hands over to the left side. So try and touch those left toes. And we'll walk our hands back over to the right side, trying to touch our right foot or right toes. And go ahead and recenter, come back to the middle. Take a couple more breaths here, and then slowly work yourself back to upright. Bring your legs back together. All right, for our next stretch, we're gonna take our arm and we're gonna put it up over our head, holding our elbow with our other hand. You should feel that stretch in the back of your arm, down along your tricep. And switch. All right, the last thing we're gonna do, let me change my camera so you can see a little better, is we're gonna stretch out our wrists and fingers. These are some of my favorite parts to stretch, especially throughout the day, since we all spend a lot of time typing and writing. But go ahead, lock your fingers together, like that. And you're gonna rotate them out so that your palms are pushing away from you. You should feel that stretch along the inside of your wrists maybe in your fingers. All right, go ahead and unlace your fingers. And we're gonna start with our left hand. So hold it out in front of you like you're telling someone to stop. And then your right hand is gonna come in, grab your fingers, and just give them a gentle pull back. And flip your wrist over so that now instead of your palm facing forward, it's the back of your hand and your palm is facing you. And again, using your right hand, give it a gentle tug. This time you should feel the stretch along the back of your wrist.
Well, it's like the whole reason I made it like during the scheduled time, like.
All right, and we'll go ahead and switch hands. So now our right hand is out in front telling someone to stop, and our left hand is gonna pull back on the fingers. All right, and flip this hand over and give it just a gentle tug. Now our palms should be facing us, and the back of our hands facing out. All right, one last stretch for our fingers. We're gonna take our hands, spread your fingers apart like this, bring them to the front of your chest, put them all together, match them up nicely, and then push down towards the floor until just your fingers are touching. Your palms might not be touching anymore, but it should stretch just your fingers. All right, and great job today, everyone. Thanks for coming out this Thursday morning to join me. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to stick on afterwards. I'll stop the recording about now. Give your arms a nice shake out. Again, our next up and moving is tomorrow morning at 9, and it's some form of yoga. So give me just 1 second. We'll stop the recording.